Run it back, nation. What is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Algo gang, do your thing on the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Anything you want. Your favorite emoji. It doesn't matter. It's all for the algo. And turn your notifications on. Sixers Bulls again tonight. Watch with us on PlaybackTV, playback.tv/runitbackphilly. We hit 92 live viewers in the last stream. That is a new record. We're getting closer to 100. Join the community on PlaybackTV, playback.tv/runitbackphilly. One more thing, the Nets lost to the Cavs last night, secured the 76ers a playoff spot. The Sixers Bulls tonight, please no overtime. Please, I can't handle another overtime, double overtime. Things I would rather do than watch another Bulls-Sixers overtime game. I would rather watch a Lifetime movie in a doctor's office while waiting on a root canal. I would rather be in a laundromat with no Wi-Fi and there's that one lady that brings 14 kids with her. That was brutal. It was difficult. It was brutal. I hated every second of it. Please, please, please don't give me another double overtime game between the damn Bulls and Sixers. All right? A couple notes on the Chicago Bulls because, look, speaking of the Chicago Bulls and the Sixers game, double overtime, and did we play down to competition or are the Bulls actually better? I said they looked defensively better since trading for Patrick Beverley, and so I looked up a couple of stats. The Bulls, since trading for Patrick Beverley, are 7-4. They are 6th in the NBA in offensive rating. They are 5th in the NBA in defensive rating. They are 2nd in the NBA in net rating, and they are 4th in the NBA in field goal percentage. Not that that matters. That's an advanced stat. That's not a real number anyway. But they are noticeably better defensively since signing Patrick Beverley. And in 4 games with Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso, the Bulls have given up just 97 points per game and have given up the fewest points in the paint in the NBA, have given up the fewest fast break points in the NBA, and have a defensive rating of 104.5. So I just wanted to prove that the Bulls are a lot better since signing Patrick Beverley. He's a free agent this season. They want to sign him for the long term. Obviously, he's 34 years old. I would expect like a 3-year contract or something like that. But Patrick Beverley definitely changed the way that they play the game on the defensive side of the floor. The main question tonight is, should James Harden play? Should James Harden play tonight against the Chicago Bulls? He is listed as questionable with a sore Achilles. I put out the quick video yesterday, but I wanted to go into a little bit more detail. He is listed as questionable with a sore Achilles. First of all, that's a scary thing because we've seen players in the past have a sore Achilles and eventually tear that Achilles tendon. And if you tear an Achilles tendon, you are fucked. It can basically end your career. DeMarcus Cousins, it can put you out for a year or two. Kevin Durant, who still has nagging injuries since that injury. So that's scary, and it's something that you don't really want to mess with. I said they should sit James Harden down for the rest of the season, and I still think that. If he has a sore Achilles, if he really has a sore Achilles, he should not be playing. Period. He shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't have played 46 minutes last game. Actually, speaking of last game, I want to show this. Why did he come back into the game after this? He drives to the basket here. He gets double hacked by DeMar DeRozan, which, by the way, the officials just choose not to call because it's... Look at this, bro. I mean, come on, man. They didn't call this foul. This is the James Harden treatment now. He's paying for his sins for 10 years of foul baiting in Houston. He's paying for it now. The officials just flat out don't give him free throws. That's ridiculous. But after this play, he's walking back to the bench with the trainer. So if there was enough of a concern when he landed on the floor right there that the trainer came over to ask him questions, that's enough of a concern to sit him down. This is only the second quarter. That was enough of a concern for him to sit out. But he didn't. He played 46 minutes. He played both overtimes. And that's James Harden telling the team, I'm fine. It's no big deal. I'm fine. It was clearly a big deal. There comes a time in sports where you stop listening to the player. You stop allowing the player to make his own decisions. You start looking at what the player looks like on the floor, and you start making a decision. Of course, an athlete who wants to compete night in and night out is going to tell you he's fine and he can play. The management on this team needs to make the right decision here, not James Harden. They need to say, hey, you looked like shit. You looked like you couldn't jump. You looked slow. You were limping back from a couple of plays. We're sitting you down. The Sixers need to make the decision, not James Harden. If he doesn't play, because the Sixers are in a bit of a tough situation. If he doesn't play, we're in a pinch because we're chasing the 1 seed. You obviously want the 1 seed. You want the ability or the possibility to maybe avoid Boston and Milwaukee altogether in the playoffs until the Eastern Conference Finals. You need the 1 seed to make that happen. The Sixers' remaining schedule also, because chasing the 1 seed is one thing. If James Harden doesn't play and they do sit him down for the rest of the season, here's the remaining schedule without James Harden. Bulls tonight, Golden State on Friday, Phoenix Suns on Saturday, the Denver Nuggets on Monday, the Dallas Mavericks on Wednesday, the Toronto Raptors on Friday, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets. So yeah, if you sit James Harden down for the season and let him rest up that Achilles and make sure it's not sore going into the playoffs, your seeding's out the window. But you got to make the right decision here. You can't hurt James Harden by playing for the number 1 seed. The Sixers are 1 game behind the Boston Celtics right now. They are in the 3 seed. That would pin us against the Brooklyn Nets in the first round of the playoffs, which I'm totally fine with. We'd take care of the Brooklyn Nets. We would then play Boston or Milwaukee in the second round. If you sit James Harden the rest of the season until the playoffs start, look, the Cleveland Cavaliers, 3.5 games behind us. But I just listed the schedule. We got a tough one coming up. Do you lose? Do you win any of those games without James Harden? I don't know. You tell me. Tyrese Maxey struggles to produce without James Harden facilitating from the top of the key and drawing the defense. So they're in a tough spot. You let me know in the comments what you think the Sixers should do. Should they sit down James Harden until the playoffs start and risk falling to the 3rd or the 4th seed or the 5th seed? Or do they listen to James Harden telling everyone he's okay, he's not in pain, and let him look like he looked on Monday night? Speaking of Monday night, he shot 14.3% from the field. That was his lowest field goal percentage since 2015. That's what ESPN said. But the truth about that is he had another 14.3% shooting game in 2016. That was still 7 years ago. But yeah, it's one of that. Monday night was one of his worst shooting nights in 7 years. In 7 years. An interesting thing about those other games is because I started looking, once I looked that up and looked up those percentages, I started looking at the games and the stats. And speaking of the play that I just showed you where James Harden clearly got bear hugged and hacked across both arms and didn't get a call, he's not getting the calls anymore. So I have another question for you to answer in the comments. Are you concerned about James Harden struggling when he's not shooting the ball well because he no longer can get to the free throw line like he used to? Here's a good example of that. 7 years ago, in 2016, he shot 14.3% from the field. In that game, he still managed to score 12 points because he shot 9 free throws. In 2015, he had a 13.3% shooting game, but he scored 16 points in the game by shooting 14 free throws. On Monday, he scored 5 points on 14.3% from the field because he had 1 field goal attempt. 1 free throw attempt. James Harden played 46 minutes, a full game and 2 overtimes, and had 1 free throw attempt. And that's not because he's not being aggressive and not going to the rim, like the play I just showed you. Here, I'll show you again. It's because of this. It's because of this. The NBA is flat out not giving James Harden free throws. I mean, if you're not getting free throws on this, When are you getting free throws? So when he has a bad shooting night, he's not getting to the free throw line either. Is there a reason to be concerned about that? Especially when the playoffs start. You let me know. I'm a little bit nervous, man. I'm nervous about his sore Achilles. I'm nervous about him potentially telling people he's okay and not being okay. I'm nervous on whether or not the Sixers can make the right decision. If you sit him down until the playoffs start, you might drop to the 3rd or 4th seed. Then you got a whole other problem on your hands. Sixers are in a pinch right now. We need to figure it out ASAP. Give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'm out of here. Peace.